right now police are looking for 2 other vehicles that may have been racing with their car.
Yeah, they do believe that Moss was speeding when he lost control around here, and you can see the obvious path the car took. This tree up here was uprooted and since been chopped away to clear out this area and the vehicle. But just beyond all of this, a growing memorial where people have come here all throughout the day to say goodbye.
He was a family guy. He loved his niece. He wanted to be an engineer, work on cars. I'm gonna miss him.
Fighting back tears, Katina Moss told us about her son, Keandre, Tuesday evening. Lifelong Chiefs fans, last weekend, the family went to the Kansas City-Jacksonville game. But this Monday, they'd get the news that the 16-year-old was killed in this crash, leaving Oakleaf High School along Oakleaf Plantation Parkway.
I'm numb, and like I said, it comes in waves. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a while.
Action News Jax has heard from the families of the 2 other young men in the car Moss was driving. Brian Ransom, a 17-year-old Oakleaf High junior, has bleeding on the brain and broken bones, according to his mother. The mom of Tajuan Ritchie, a senior who just turned 18, says he's still in the ICU. And tonight, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office continues to look for the 2 other cars involved to try to piece together what happened. Answers are all Katina Moss wants, just hoping for some closure.
I love you. You were loved beyond measure.
And as you take another look at this growing memorial out here, balloons, candles, and flowers all left here by friends, classmates. We're also looking into possible charges for the other drivers. We spoke with our law and safety expert. We'll have that part of the story all new at 11. Live in Oakleaf, Russell Colburn, Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Well, this deadly crash raising concerns about speeding on Oakleaf Village Parkway. A witness told police it looked like 3 cars were racing, but as investigators work to find out what caused the crash, neighbors say either way, speeding is a problem.
Everyone hurt, we all hurt. Watching these kids, we want to keep them safe.
There's only one exit to get in, and then on phase 2, an exit to get out, so there's not many exits to go in and out of Oakleaf, so.
Yeah, Florida Highway Patrol told us they've worked on another crash on this road this year. Action News Jax reached out to police to learn if they've recorded other crashes or speeding tickets here. We're waiting to hear back.
According to AAA, 16 to 17-year-old drivers are 9 times more likely to be involved in a crash than adults, and they're also 6 times more likely to be in a deadly crash. In 2015, nearly 1,900 drivers between the ages of 15 and 20 were killed in crashes.
Helping local parents stay one step ahead of child predators, the goal of the FBI tonight. You likely know to keep an eye on your children's phones, but there are even more ways strangers could be talking to them right now. New at 10, Action News Jax Amber Kriska is live outside Julia Landon College Prep. And Amber, the FBI says they're seeing an increase in cases from video games.
Yeah, and kids think they're talking to other kids they can trust, but that's not necessarily true. Tonight, the FBI shared these slides right here, some of the apps that are out there. They asked parents, do you know what all these apps are? And a lot of parents, they didn't know. And the scary part, there's even hidden apps where predators can gain access to your kids' pictures and information.
A room full of parents who care about their kids and are trying to protect them, but some don't know how.
I thought, I don't know what I'm looking for. I knew I needed to be looking, but I didn't know what I needed to be looking for.
Heather Kenny is a mom of 11 and 12-year-old boys.
My kids are naive, and they just trust.
FBI agents showed parents how easy it is for sex offenders to target children through the latest technology and social media, from mobile apps like Snapchat to online chat rooms, and even online video games where kids can team up with strangers and even voice chat one-on-one.
They showed all those apps on the screen. Did you know what those were?
No, I didn't. And that's the thing. At one point I had tears in my eyes because I felt so overwhelmed, and I thought, these people have access to my kids, and I'm trying everything I can to keep them safe, and these people are actively working to harm my kids.
What's really scary for Kenny and other parents, apps that appear to be one thing but are actually hiding something else.
Like the example they gave was a calculator. It looks like a calculator app, but when you open it, you can go sort of underneath it, and there's ways to share pics and videos and have conversations that I would never know.
The FBI shared some of the local cases they've worked on over the years, including Lucas Michael Chancellor, who exploited more than 100 girls. Parents say it's a struggle, but they know they have to do it.
I feel like swimming hard to try and keep up, and I'll never keep up, but I have to keep swimming.
In another piece of advice the FBI agents told parents tonight, just go to the App Store and see what's trending, see what those hidden app trends are. Reporting live, Amber Kriska, CBS 47 Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Solid advice there. And the FBI will have another presentation tomorrow night at Our Lady Star of the Sea Cultural Center at 6 p.m. Again, it's free and open to anyone. New at 10, Jaxport now has another $35 million going toward its harbor deepening project, thanks to Florida's Department of Transportation. The project is expected to deepen the harbor to 47 feet. It's predicted to be completed by 2023. The project is expected to create thousands of jobs.
Some good news after a cargo vessel capsized off the coast of St. Simon's Island earlier this month. So far, the Coast Guard has found very minimal contaminants in the water around the St. Simon Sound. As Action News Jack's Danny Bozzini reports, crews have been out every day searching for any spills from the Golden Ray here. And for the most part, they say they're coming up empty-handed.
I think we're just really lucky, to be honest with you.
Good news for the Golden Isles.
You have this huge ship with an enormous amount of contaminants on board, but it's actually still contained.
Ever since all 24 crew members were rescued from the capsized Golden Ray, the potential for oil spills has been a major concern for everyone.
I gave away some fish just because my wife was afraid to eat them.
But so far, the Coast Guard and Susan Inman, the coastkeeper in charge of overseeing the St. Simon Sound, haven't found any major red flags.
I mean, we have some leaks and some spills, but it's actually minimal, you know, and so it's a really big deal that they're not finding it on the beaches.
The Coast Guard scoured miles of coastline searching for oil and contaminants from the Golden Ray. They even came here to Driftwood Beach, a local favorite here on Jekyll Island, and found no pollution.
It makes me a lot more encouraged to get back in the water, absolutely.
It's a big sigh of relief for the locals and visitors that come to the Golden Isles for the stunning beaches. But Inman says they're not completely in the clear just yet.
We definitely don't have a green light yet because we still have a ship on its side.
In St. Simon's Island, Danny Bozzini, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Today, the Jaguars announced new fan improvement changes. It comes after getting some feedback from local fans following the season opener against the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember, that was a hot one. Now, the changes include allowing everyone to bring one sealed water bottle for the rest of the season. There will also be more ticket scanners and gate staff to get people into the stadium faster. Temporary shade will be at every entry point to improve the digital ticket scanning process. And for those warm weather games, misting fans will also be placed outside of the gates. Your official Jaguar stations will have you covered on game day. After the Jags meet their AFC South rivals, the Tennessee Titans, tune in to the Action Sports Jax post-game show. Brett and Dan will be getting coach and player reaction minutes after the game clock hits 0. And you can tune in by downloading the Action News Jax mobile app or going to the Action News Jax Facebook page.
I'll have that Jags first alert forecast in a few minutes. I'm Action News Jax. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burr is tracking the busy tropics and a very important front that brings some very important weather changes in your first alert forecast after the break.
Coming up, 2 stories you still haven't seen on Action News Jax. First,
a local dog found on the side of the road is getting a second chance. Coming up, the heroes who saved the pup from suspected dog fight.
Then,
a local grandmother spoke only to Action News Jax about getting carjacked at gunpoint.
Had a shotgun sticking in the window in my face. And he said, get out the car, get out the car.
The evidence JSO identified while we spoke to the woman.
More local stories straight ahead. Next on Action News Jax.
A Clay County dog believed to be a victim of dog fighting has been saved by local veterinarians.
Action News Jax Megan Moriarty has his life-saving story.
This is Bruce. He's 4 years old, wags his tail often, and loves to cuddle.
He really just wants to lay on your couch all day.
Bruce is happy and healthy, but 2 weeks ago was a different story. Bruce was found laying on the side of the road waiting to be saved near the Orange Park Mall. He was brought here to the Clay County Humane Society, where veterinarians decided he needed to get his leg amputated.
There was a large chunk of tissue taken off his leg and his bone was exposed. The foot was dead. So it was severe.
They think he's a victim of dog fighting, but they tell Action News Jax not much can be done legally because they have no idea where he came from or how long he was on the side of the road. Even though Bruce has gone through an immense amount of trauma, you would never know by his behavior.
He has no reactivity. He doesn't try to attack other animals, other cats, birds, nothing. Humans he loves.
Bruce will always be a part of the Clay Humane Society's family, but he is looking for a more permanent home and is hoping to be adopted soon.
But we're going to miss him, and we love him very much.
Megan Moriarty, Fox 30 Action News Jax.
For more information on how you can help Bruce, check out our website, actionnewsjax.com. A Camden County police dog has new protection while she's on the job. The Georgia K-9 Police Foundation paid for a heat alarm for K-9 Hannah's car. So this alarm will automatically roll down the windows, turn on a fan, and honk the horn if it gets too hot inside. Earlier this year, a police dog in Gwinnett County died from heat exhaustion during a chase.
One of the biggest needs right now in the Bahamas, tourists. Hotels across the area say they've seen cancellations in the triple digits because of video like this, but some of the most popular destinations were spared by Dorian. Tourism alone provides an estimated 60% of the country's economy. You can help people in the Bahamas who are recovering after Hurricane Dorian as well. ViStar Credit Union, our Action News Jax family focus partner, is collecting donations at any branch through October 31st.
Duval County Public Schools picked its weather makeup days from Hurricane Dorian. Students will not have to go to school on October 21st and January 17th. You can find that 2019-2020 calendar updated on the DCPS website.
Jalen Ramsey says he is still a part of the Jacksonville Jaguars for now. The Jaguars cornerback spoke to the media this afternoon saying he wanted to clear up some things.
I'm going to let God do his work. I'm going to let my agent do his work, and everybody going to work it out, and I'm going to focus on what I can focus on. And right now, that's being a good teammate still while I'm here, getting ready for the game, supporting my guys, and just being Jalen, man, at the end of the day.
Well, this all stems from what was an argument between Ramsey and head coach Doug Marrone while in Houston. The Action Sports Jax team spoke to some of the players after practice today. They'll have their reaction coming up at 10:30.
Now, certified Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
And it looks like, well, some very pretty weather Thursday evening as we have some big changes on the way. But the tropics are active right now. Umberto's become a Category 3 hurricane. Pretty close call here for Bermuda. Goes a little north and west of Bermuda late tomorrow and tomorrow night. Imelda has moved ashore in southeast Texas, quickly organized and developed during the day today. So off to the north and east, there's the donut-looking Umberto, classic hurricane, strong hurricane, 622 miles away from Jacksonville and moving away, but close enough so that we still have an easterly swell, rough seas and surf and a high rip current risk. And then more than 800 miles away would be Imelda, pouring on the Houston area where flooding looks to be a big problem, along with isolated tornadoes for much of southeastern Texas. And then more than 2,300 miles away, tropical depression number 10 that's likely to be Jerry just about any time now. So Umberto takes off to the north and east, just missing the island of Bermuda, the eye, but close enough so that a hurricane warning is in effect. Depression number 10, soon to be Jerry, takes off west-northwest, eventually becomes a hurricane. Looks like it stays a little north of Puerto Rico during the day on Saturday, but that's going to be a pretty close call. And then it turned more toward the northwest and eventually north. The early indications are this turns more north once it's right here. And that's obviously critical for the Bahamas and for Jacksonville, northeast Florida, and southeast Georgia. We'll keep you updated. Much will depend on on that Bermuda high, how strong it is, and its exact positioning. We're otherwise dry across the area right now on 5-speed First Alert Doppler HD. And bus stop forecast, partly cloudy. Temperatures in the 70s to near 80, pretty warm. Grab the umbrella tomorrow. Not everybody gets rain, but there will be some midday and afternoon showers and storms. We start out dry early in the morning, and then by noon we start to see the first scattered showers, mostly southeastern Georgia. It will be warm and humid, and then those showers and thunderstorms start to increase, especially near and west of I-95, with a couple of strong storms possible. It's a surge of northeasterly winds on a cool front that will be moving through, so by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the rain's left Duval County. Looks pretty decent for the late afternoon commute as it looks right now, with the showers and storms mainly near and west of Highway 301. Clears out through tomorrow night then. Starts to turn cooler on Thursday. It'll be breezy. Now, there'll still be a few showers coming in off the Atlantic, but temperatures will only be in the 80s, and where there are a few showers, only in the upper 70s at times on Thursday. That's a big change, and that means a pretty pleasant evening for the Jags game on Thursday. Some 20 degrees cooler than the home opener a couple of weeks ago. Still a few coastal showers right on into Friday. Your weekend always in view in the First Alert 7-day forecast with highs in the mid-80s. Check out these nighttime lows, pleasant, dipping into the 60s all the way into early next week. Some of the coolest air we've seen in months. ActionNewsJax.com. It's our latest First Alert weather, and you can download for free the First Alert weather app.
Next on Action News Jax at 10:30, a mother and her children killed in cold blood. The man she loved arrested for murder. Coming up, we spoke to an investigator who says he never met a person so cold.
Plus, Action News Jax Investigates is looking into letters deceiving voters, the group that's telling voters their information is wrong.
And every 3 minutes, a child is diagnosed with cancer. Coming up, the support local families in our area have to help them fight the battle.
Here's a sobering fact. Every 3 minutes, a family learns their child has been diagnosed with cancer.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and tonight, Action News Jax is introducing you to one of the many families our family-focused partner, Wolfson Children's Hospital, is working to help battle the sickness head on.
All this stuff almost took her life maybe like 5 times, you know, and she managed to stay strong.
Joel Toro was talking about his 15-year-old daughter, Angelise. Toro and his wife, Glenda Vega, are two of the people I met today as I visited the oncology floor of Wolfson Children's Hospital. They tell me this is Angelise's 110th day taking on leukemia.
Like I said, she's brave. She's the most wonderful thing that ever came to my life, you know, she's been through a lot.
And it's a battle they all plan to win.
As mom and dad, we're gonna fight with her, even though she's dealing with it.
We stopped by to drop off a goodie bag and spread some positivity, something Toro and Vega tell me they work hard to do as well.
We can't let her see that we sad or anything because it'll make it hard on her.
And thanks to local community partners like Wolfson's, families like this don't have to take this journey on their own. And September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the Tom Coughlin J Fund, they help hundreds of families day in and day out who have kids who are battling cancer. But the families I spoke to say it's really all the team effort. The Tom Coughlin J Fund has helped more than 5,000 families to date and given away more than $11 million in grants, helping families here in Northeast Florida, New York, and New Jersey. Vega and Toro tell me the support from both organizations is incredible.
She feels that support and love. If it's either from the nurses here, the doctors, like I said, they're like family to us.
And tonight, they asked that I say thank you. Courtney Cole, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
I'm Action News Jax. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris. There are some big changes on the way. Strong cold front moves in tomorrow afternoon. I'll time out the scattered showers and storms. Then when nighttime temperatures dip at least into the 60s, and the latest on the busy tropics. In your First Alert forecast next.
Plus, a local Navy family burglarized, and it's caught on their doorbell camera. Only Action News Jax spoke to the homeowner who explained how the suspects got inside.
And rising temperatures mean higher costs to cool buildings. How several cities are tackling the problem with a fresh coat of paint.
A mother and her 4 children murdered, the man she loved making a chilling confession to police that a body was in his car. Now, police are searching for a motive of what may have made this father snap. I'm John Bachman.
I'm Tanika Hughes. Action News Jax Bridget Matter dug into the couple's social media profiles where she found what looked like a happy family.
The photos of Casey and Michael Jones are like any other family. A pregnant Casey at Gatorland, Michael in the park with his child. A seemingly normal family on the surface, but it would all end in tragedy close to 150 miles away in southern Georgia. Police say they discovered the body of Casey Jones in her husband's van. Detectives would then find the bodies of Casey's 4 children in a wooded area, ages 10, 5, 2, and 1. She and her children hadn't been heard from in 6 weeks. Police believe after the 5 were killed, they remained hidden in the home before being driven over state lines. And deputies say he's been cooperating with investigators while being interviewed here in the Brantley County Jail. They say he's shown no signs of remorse, one investigator calling him cold. He's been charged in his wife's second-degree murder. Police are waiting on autopsy results of the children to confirm how they died before more charges are filed. The sheriff's office also believes Jones may have used Casey's phone after she died, keeping up a ruse she was still alive but not feeling well. Action News Jax Investigates looked into Jones' past and found no criminal history in Marion County where the family lived, and police say they were never even called to the home.
Bridget Matter, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Detectives tell Action News Jax that Jones is cooperating with investigators but has shown no remorse. He's awaiting extradition in Brantley County.
The First Alert Weather Team tracking several named storms across the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. This is a brand new video out of Texas showing rough seas off the coast of Texas as Tropical Storm Imelda made landfall. For more, let's get you over right now to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Bursch here in the First Alert Weather Center. Mike, you're about to get the latest update coming up in about 20 minutes, less than.
Won't be long on all of these storms. Imelda developing in a hurry today right off the coast of Texas. We still have Umberto off to the east and northeast, and what will soon be Jerry. All these storms, John, headed well, west-northwest bound for the most part, except for Umberto, which is headed off to the north and east. Biggest potential problem would be Tropical Depression number 10 as it becomes Jerry, because that one may try to make a move, at least not very far from the Caribbean. There are the forecast models, and you can see there are a few that take it very near the northeastern tip. It looks like it stays just north of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico late in the week into the weekend, but that's obviously precariously close. And then a turn more toward the north. This part right in here will all depend on that Bermuda high, which has been a mainstay over the last couple of months, and usually is this time of year. How strong it is, its exact positioning will determine just how far west Jerry may or may not get in the end, and obviously that would have major implications for the Bahamas and for right here at home. No rain across the area right now, and hour by hour for your wake-up weather. Temperatures will be in the 70s and make it up close to 80 degrees by 9 a.m. A partly sunny sky, but we are going to see a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity develop tomorrow thanks to a cool front moving in from the north and east. So as that front sweeps on in by 5 p.m., a few scattered showers and storms, but by 5 o'clock, virtually all of that activity will be pushed more inland to the west and to the southwest, and cooler air will follow. I'll show you just how cool in the First Alert 7-day forecast and updates, the new numbers and track forecasts on the tropics coming up in about 15 minutes.
Only Action News Jax is talking to a local great-grandmother who says she had a gun pointed at her head during a carjacking. Happened on West 6th Street near Paxton High School Friday. Priscilla Jackson says 2 masked men, they approached her SUV and demanded that she get out, and she says it was the scariest moment of her life.
My mind was like, do I try to drive off or what? So, but when I looked back over here, there was this young man with this gun going, get out the car, get out the car.
Shortly after the carjacking, police found an 18-year-old driving Jackson's SUV and arrested him. Police are still searching for the second suspect.
Right now, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office looking for 2 men accused of stealing from the Polo Ralph Lauren store at the Outlet Mall. Deputies say on Saturday, these men ran in, grabbed 2 stacks of shirts and ran out. They were last seen getting into a black Mercedes SUV with a temporary tag. Only on Action News Jax can we show you this video from a local Navy family's doorbell camera. They say burglars broke into their home, ransacked their child's room, and even tried to steal the family dog. Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty spoke to the homeowner who says the suspects ruined one of the last mementos she has of her daughter.
That's really scary, and knowing that they can see all these pictures on the wall and see what kind of family we are and still do that.
It's something no mother ever wants to have to worry about.
My daughters could have been here.
Strangers breaking into her home. Video captured through the family's Ring security camera shows a woman ring the doorbell. When no one answers, she waves to someone out of sight. Later, we see this.
They had also taken 4 TVs. They took my mom's ring that was passed down from her mother and from her mother and her mother.
Shinitra Latree says they even tried to take the dog. But the thing that hit Shinitra the hardest is the recorded sound of her daughter's heartbeat that she'll never be able to hear again.
I don't know if they stepped on it or if they had no regard, but there's a heart inside of this bear. And the light comes on because it's no longer there. I hope that, you know, they get the maximum amount of time for the things that they did.
Megan Moriarty, Fox 30 Action News Jax.
A local sailor murdered in her own home is being remembered on the one-year observance of her death. Today, Andrea Washington's shipmates released lanterns and set up a memorial in her honor at Naval Station Mayport. Action News Jax showed you investigators at Chief Andrea Washington's home on the north side, where she was found dead in September of 2018. Her boyfriend was arrested and charged for the murder in December. The base's Master Chief says the purple decorations are to bring awareness to domestic abuse.
It became one big family to share that moment together and to know that Andrea and her family is still with us.
Leaders at Naval Station say they'd like to do some type of memorial every year.
President Trump's former campaign manager got into testy exchanges during testimony today before the House Judiciary Committee. He took the stand about potential obstruction of justice by the president. Lawmakers pressed Corey Lewandowski about whether President Trump directed him to tell then Attorney General Jeff Sessions to limit the Mueller probe.
I recognize that the privilege is not mine, but I've been asked by the White House to... Congressman, I'd be happy to answer your question, or you can just have a conversation by yourself.
This is a House Judiciary, not a House party.
The White House blocked 2 other witnesses from joining Lewandowski at the witness table. The committee's top Democrat called it a dangerous assertion of executive privilege.
Action News Jax Investigates is looking into letters local voters have been getting in their mailboxes. It's a notice from an organization called the Voter Participation Center. On the notice, voters are being told that they're not registered to vote, their mailing address is incorrect, or their voter information needs to be updated. Voters from all over our area are getting the letters, but it was the Clay County Supervisor of Elections is warning about the confusion they may cause.
Our mission is to register and mobilize what we call the rising American electorate. That means unmarried women, people of color, and young people. The reason why we focus on these demographics is because they represent a huge number of the people who are eligible to vote but don't vote in the numbers that they actually represent. They are underrepresented demographics.
And that's someone from the Voter Participation Center. They also say they've helped a number of people register to vote, and they describe themselves as the middleman, still reminding voters to refer to their local supervisor of elections for all questions.
The city of Jacksonville is being sued by the Duval County School Board and Duval Teachers United for blocking a sales tax referendum to fix aging schools. This is now the 2nd lawsuit filed against the city. In it, the board and the teachers union say that the city has no right to stop the district from putting a sales tax referendum on the ballot. The district is asking the court to rule that it has the sole authority to levy the sales tax. The lawsuit also asks the court to rule that the city has to hold an election as soon as possible. The district says if the city acts right now, they could still have a special mail-in ballot election in December. We told you last month when the school board decided to hire outside counsel in its fight with the city council, it wants a special election in November to get a half-cent sales tax to fix schools.
Florida's Juvenile Justice Department is kicking off the school year with its Not a Joke campaign to dissuade students from making threats. Now, the number of Florida youth charged with school threat-related offenses has gone up steadily in the last 3 years. In 2016, there were 629 youth charged. 2017, 687. Last year, 779 students charged for making threats to Florida schools. This weekend, FSCJ will host a town hall to discuss the opioid crisis in Jacksonville. The public invited to come out and talk with health professionals that are helping to manage and find a solution to the issue. It's going to be Friday from 9 to 11:30 at the Advanced Technology Center located at the downtown campus on 401 West State Street.
Alex Trebek says he has restarted chemotherapy. Today, the Jeopardy host said he suddenly began losing weight. In 1 week, Trebek said he lost 12 pounds and his numbers went sky high. Last month, Trebek announced the end of his first round of chemo for stage 4 cancer. He returned as Jeopardy's host for its 36th season, which began airing this month. Florida Blue is teaming up with Walgreens to offer free flu shots. They'll be available to anyone 18 years or older, even if they have health insurance with another provider or do not have health insurance at all. The shots will be given at the locations on your screen Thursday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m.
In Camden County, women can get screened for free in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Women who meet certain annual income guidelines and are 40 to 64 without insurance will be eligible to get a mammogram for free. The screenings are at the Camden Woods Shopping Center from 9 to 1 on October 9th.
New at 10, an Alabama company has been awarded $4.9 million contract from the Air Force Space and Missile Systems Center to launch satellites from Cecil Spaceport. The initial launch for AVM is scheduled for late 2021. As a result, the company will be opening and expanding its operational facility in Jacksonville. New training equipment is coming to sailors at Naval Station Bayport. $10 million will go toward hangar renovation. That area will then be used for new ship training modules. The simulators use computer-generated video and curved screens to provide a more realistic training experience.
Fans will see some changes at future Jaguars games. How these improvements were sparked by a need for medical attention.
Plus, hotter temperatures are ramping up the expense of keeping large buildings cool. Coming up, how painters are helping reduce those costs by 30%.
Mother Nature's going to help us out in that regard, too, with the cold front that's on the way. Meanwhile, awaiting the new numbers and updated track forecasts on the tropics, Umberto, and also what's likely to soon be Jerry. In the first weather forecast in minutes.
Climate change is being blamed for an increase in cost to keep buildings cool.
Now, several large cities are tackling that problem using paint.
This rooftop is getting a cool makeover.
Today, altogether on this roof was probably 15, 16 buckets.
Painter Keith Harris is coating every inch white, but it's not for aesthetics. It's to combat global warming.
It might not be good for me, but my son and his kids, and down the line, this should pay off.
New York City's Cool Roofs program uses a special white reflective paint so the roof absorbs less heat, reducing energy costs and the carbon footprint.
These white surfaces will keep these buildings cooler rather than the dark surfaces that you see on traditional rooftops.
With sun-absorbing dark roofs and street pavements, cities experience significantly warmer temps than rural areas, something called the urban heat island effect.
Extreme heat is actually one of the deadliest impacts or extreme weather events that we face here in New York City.
It has many cities turning to design to cope. San Francisco passed a green roof law requiring new buildings to have solar panels and plants. In Los Angeles, roofing materials must meet new sun-reflecting standards. And a Houston neighborhood reduced its temperatures by planting 175 large trees. In New York City, the Cool Roofs project has covered 10 million square feet so far.
It's going to help everyone in the city, so it's beneficial for everything.
The world's heating up. My personal opinion is this should have been done a long time ago.
And the program also provides paint and painters to buildings at low or no cost.
Tomorrow, national and local companies are hiring at the Navy Tri-Base Job Fair. It will be at the Morocco Shrine Center for all Department of Defense card holders from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The new ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena sign was unveiled today in downtown Jacksonville. Local leaders in the veteran community say that the name change could have a big impact on veterans in need. ViStar has committed more than $50,000 a year to local veteran services. The funds will be distributed by the Veterans Council of Duval County's board, made up of veterans, and they're hoping to fund a resource center
where veterans can gather. Veterans of all eras can gather and take care of one another, because veterans take care of veterans better than anybody else.
Another $50,000 has been set aside for a memorial near the arena, and ViStar will match donations made by families at concession stands up to $50,000 as well. Veterans can also get discounts on tickets, concessions, and parking at the arena.
This winter, Jimmy Buffett will make his return to Jacksonville. The singer and the Coral Reefer Band will perform at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena on December 10th. The Son of a Sailor High Tide Tour marks 40 years of Buffett's Son of a Sailor album. Tickets go on sale Friday, September 27th at 10 a.m.
Taylor Swift has announced the first 2 U.S. stops of her 2020 World Tour. The singer will be the first woman to open an NFL stadium when her Loverfest West kicks off on July 25th. Swift will perform at Los Angeles Sophie Stadium before heading out east to Gillette Stadium next week, and the tickets will go on sale next month.
Timaquan Parks looking for people to help with an International Coastal Cleanup Day. It's this Saturday, the 21st. They'll meet at the National Park Service Visitor Center from 7 to 9. This is on Fort Caroline Road. They also have another cleanup from 9 to 11 at Hanna Park. Several organizations are also holding a beach cleanup this Saturday. Beaches Go Green, Clean Your 904, and Keep Jacksonville Beautiful will be out at the Jacksonville Pier starting at 9 a.m. They will provide buckets and gloves. There will also be prizes for the most cigarette butts collected and the strangest items found.
Now, certified Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
All right, Mike, I can see those 3 areas behind you in the tropics. And for us here locally, the rip currents at the beach, still a very big concern.
Yeah, and that's not even necessarily directly related to most of these storms. Humberto's helping that out, unfortunately, but even as Humberto moves away, the onshore flow continues, a gusty northeast wind, in other words, and so will the rip currents then. Still awaiting the new numbers from the National Hurricane Center on TD number 10 and Humberto. Humberto, it's just a matter of fact on that one. We've just got the new numbers in on Imelda, waiting on TD10, which might very well be Tropical Storm Jerry now. We'll see. Humberto is a Category 3 hurricane, upgraded about 8 o'clock this evening as Hurricane Hunter aircraft investigated the hurricane and found it reached major status, quote-unquote, in other words, a Cat 3 or stronger. There's Jerry with a burst of thunderstorms. There's also a weak wave here in the Caribbean that's flared up the last 12 hours or so. It's stretched out, not in an area favorable at the moment, but we'll have to watch that over the northwest Caribbean and/or Gulf of Mexico. There's Imelda moving inland over Texas, so weakening, but a lot of rain for much of Texas, and yet another one coming off the coast of Africa. So very busy tropics, not unusual, of course, during the middle to end of September. And there goes Humberto taking off to the northeast, close enough to Bermuda so that a hurricane warning is in effect, even though it will not take a direct hit. And tropical depression number 10, expected to soon be a tropical storm Jerry, and then a hurricane just northeast of Puerto Rico early in the weekend, turning more northwest with time. Early indications are that that northward turn will continue, but how sharp it will be is still up for debate next week, and will all depend on that Bermuda high, which has been the case all summer long and usually is all hurricane season long. And we'll continue to update you around the clock more and talking the tropics with Mike at ActionNewsJax.com. It is dry on First Alert Doppler HD right now. 91st day today, by the way, at or above 90 degrees for the year. We're going to end that streak tomorrow and for a number of days as a nice little cool front swings on through here tomorrow. Some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, not necessarily everywhere, but a few strong storms in the afternoon. By the afternoon commute by 5 p.m., mainly near and west of Highway 301 for the scattered showers and storms. Then once that moves through, the gusty northeast wind with a few showers at times coming in off the Atlantic, but the cooler air will move in as well. Check out the temperature dip as we get into later in the week and the weekend. Nighttime lows that fall all the way into the 60s. That is going to feel great over the weekend, below the average of 70 and some of the coolest air we've had in quite some time. It'll be nice. And nice for the Jags game Thursday evening, and then over your weekend, always in view in the First Alert 7-day forecast. Comfortably warm during the day in the 80s and down into the 60s at night. No significant rain after the next few days, and even that looks to be pretty scattered. ActionNewsJax.com for free. Download the First Alert weather app.
Start your morning with the latest Action News Jax First Alert forecast. It begins at 4:30 on Fox 30. 2 teens are in the hospital tonight after a deadly crash that killed their friend.
I'm gonna miss him.
What this mother says her son had dreams of doing after graduation.
Plus, it's a story you'll see only on Action News Jax. Crews say there are no signs of oil spilled in the St. Simons Sound. Why the capsized cargo ship could still be a problem for the environment. Coming up on Action News Jax at 11.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. This is Action Sports Jax, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Let me be real clear about that. I was not the one, me and my team, we was not the one that leaked that information because I thought about my teammates. I thought about stuff like that.
Well, who did? Jalen Ramsey didn't leak the reports of a trade, he says. Didn't want to be a distraction, but he did ask for a trade. And, well, so he is a distraction. Also, who did leak that request? Other NFL teams or someone in the Jags building? And if it's someone in the Jags building, that might be a bigger problem. What a 10 days or so here in Jacksonville. Absolutely incredible. The asking price for Jalen Ramsey, if the Jags are going to trade him, and if a team is interested, how about 2 first-round draft picks? Will anyone be willing to give that much up for a very good player that also now has this explosion Sunday on his resume? What about the immediate future? The Jags corner says he wants to play. The Jags want him to play. And right now he will play on Thursday as the Jags host the Titans because he's a member of the football team. He was out there during practice and in meetings today. That's a must-win game on Thursday. The Jags are dealing with a lot of things going on. Ramsey says as long as he's in Jacksonville, you know what you're going to get on the football field.
I've gotten some really good years out of him. And for however long I'm going to be here, I'm going to continue giving my all out there. All I care about is winning, man. Everybody know that. I want to win.
Wow, the Jags in that building right there in about 48 hours. 8 o'clock game on NFL Network. Who knows what to expect against a team that has just manhandled the Jags in recent years, the Tennessee Titans. Now this mess. Jags players trying to stay focused reacted to Ramsey today. Here's Dan Hicken.
He says he didn't want to be a distraction, but when you demand a trade and drop that kind of bombshell on a Monday before a Thursday game, well, that's exactly what you are, a distraction. Still, his teammates weren't biting.
We've been talking, you know what I mean. I kind of came in here with Jalen, you know, so, you know, I think our bond, our connection kind of deeper than a lot of other players.
Can't lie to you, that ain't my problem or my situation. At the end of the day, that's my teammate. You know, all we can do right now is just focus on ball. You know, end of the day, if it doesn't have nothing pertaining to us winning on Thursday, I really don't care.
Miles Jack was down actually watching Jalen Ramsey's press conference today. He explained why.
I just seen the little update on my phone when we were breaking meetings, and I was like, oh, Jalen's about to talk. And then Jalen just so happened to be walking. I was like, Jalen, can I go in there with you? He was like, yeah. So I just went in there just to, you know what I mean, just to be there.
Well, you can catch all the Ramsey Talk on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Over 10,000 video views alone today on our show from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. So it's a big talker. The Jags have the Ramsey issue, but they have a bigger problem in 48 hours. They can't seem to tackle Derrick Henry and can't seem to beat the Titans. This 99-yard run will live in infamy around here, unless they're showing it in Yulee, where Derrick is from. Heck, he's even had enough of the replay.
I'm sure they are. I'm tired of seeing it, so yeah. So definitely, I know for sure they are. How can you be tired of seeing it? I mean, it's over with, man. It was a great moment. You know, I appreciate it, I cherish it, but time to move on, man. It's over with.
Hey, this is an awesome story. Carson King at College Game Day names Iowa for the Iowa State-Iowa game, right? Held up a sign that said, Busch Light Supply needed, replenished, and gave his Venmo account. People around the country started to do it, $20,000 raised, and now Busch and Venmo have matched it, going to the Children's Hospital in Iowa.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
Great story, yeah. Wait,
Mike, tropical depression number 10, soon to be Jerry. All the latest here in just a few minutes with an updated track.
Tracking the tropics, brand new forecast track right now for Tropical Depression 10, just into the First Alert Weather Center in the last 10 minutes. You see how the track is moving closer to the Bahamas and the U.S. I'm John Bachman.
I'm Tanika Hughes. The First Alert Weather Center tracking not just the storm, but 3 tropical situations tonight. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burge is in the First Alert Weather Center going over this new data that just came in.
Right, Humberto's gone Category 3 this evening. Imelda's moving into Texas with torrential rainfall, and then farther out into the Atlantic, it's what will soon be Jerry, Tropical Depression number 10. So the new numbers and the new updated forecast track. Humberto, the Category 3 storm with 115-mile-per-hour winds awfully close to Bermuda tomorrow night into Thursday, where hurricane warnings are in effect, and it accelerates on off to the north and east. No further local impacts for us locally right here at home, except for that rip current risk that continues. And here's what will soon be Jerry, and that ever so close move to the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, but still forecast to stay a little bit north of Puerto Rico Friday night into Saturday, and that critical then northward turn potentially east of the Bahamas. More on that track and its forecast beyond this weekend in your First Alert forecast in 15 minutes.
A local 16-year-old killed in this crash, and tonight Action News Jax has updates on the other 2 young men in the car with Keandre Moss. The mothers of Tawan Rishi and Brian Ransom say they're still in the hospital, and right now police are looking for the 2 other cars that may have been racing their car. All new at 11, Action News Jax Russell Colburn is live in Oakleaf, and Russell, those other drivers could face serious charges.
Yeah, I spoke with Action News Jax law and safety expert Dale Carson, and he tells me they could at least face charges for racing, and they could be charged with leaving the scene of a crash resulting in death, which is a felony. So something, of course, we'll keep an eye on. But here's the scene right here. You can see where that car came off the curb and uprooted this tree, really. And just beyond that, a growing memorial where people have been coming throughout the day to say goodbye. A happy family, lifelong Chiefs fans at the stadium for the Kansas City-Jacksonville game last weekend. Katina Moss says that's where her son, Keandre, always wanted to be with his loved ones.
He was a family guy. He loved his niece.
But Monday, his family got this news. Jacksonville police say Moss was leaving Oakleaf High School when he lost control here on Oakleaf Village Parkway. The 16-year-old was killed.
I'm numb, and like I said, it comes in waves. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a while.
Action News Jax has heard from the families of the 2 other young men in the car Moss was driving. Brian Ransom, a 17-year-old Oakleaf High junior, has bleeding on the brain and broken bones, according to his mother. The mom of Tawan Rishi, a senior who just turned 18, says he's still in the ICU. Tonight, Moss's mother just wants answers.
I love you. You were loved beyond measure.
And as you take another live look at this memorial, the families have asked that we share some GoFundMe pages, so you'll find those on our website. We also understand that Oakleaf High School will be honoring Moss's family at the homecoming game Friday. They're asking that you wear red. Live in Oakleaf, Russell Colburn, CBS47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
According to AAA, 16 to 17-year-old drivers are 9 times more likely to be involved in a crash than adults. Meanwhile, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that Florida is one of the deadliest states for intersection deaths. Researchers say there's been a 27% increase in intersection deaths since 2010.
New details tonight on a crash that caused traffic backup on I-75 southbound near Lake City. It started because of a tire failure. In the last half hour, FHP now telling Action News Jax that the tire failed on a semi-truck going north on 75, which then caused it to veer off the road and into oncoming traffic and hitting another semi. Both trucks went through the guardrail into the southbound lanes. One truck driver was killed in the crash. Another was taken to the hospital. Charges are pending.
Police obtained search warrants in the case against Michael Jones. He is accused of killing his wife, Casey, and her 4 children. Casey was found dead in his van in Brantley County on Monday, and the bodies of the children were found in a wooded area in Charlton County. Detectives believe that they were killed in their Marion County home, where their bodies likely remained for weeks before being driven over state lines. Action News Jax investigated, and we looked into Jones's past and found no criminal history in Marion County where the family lived. Now, detectives say Jones is cooperating, but investigators say he's shown no remorse. He's awaiting extradition to Marion County.
Helping local parents stay one step ahead of child predators. That's the goal of the FBI tonight. You likely know to keep an eye on your kids' phones, but there are even more ways that strangers could be talking to them even tonight. Action News Jax Amber Kriska is live outside Julia Landon College Prep. And Amber, the FBI says they're seeing an increase in cases with video games.
And those kids are talking to other kids they think they can trust, and that's not necessarily always true. Tonight, the FBI, they shared some slides like this right here. These are some of the apps that are out there, and they asked parents, do you know what all these apps are? And many parents didn't. A room full of parents who care about their kids and are trying to protect them, but some don't know how.
I thought, I don't know what I'm looking for. I knew I needed to be looking, but I didn't know what I needed to be looking for.
Heather Kenny is the mom of 11 and 12-year-old boys.
My kids are naive, and they just trust.
FBI agents showed parents how easy it is for sex offenders to target children through the latest technology in social media, from mobile apps like Snapchat to online chat rooms, and even online video games where kids can team up with strangers and even voice chat one-on-one.
They showed all those apps on the screen. Did you know what those were? No, I didn't. And that's the thing. At one point I had tears in my eyes because I felt so overwhelmed, and I thought, these people have access to my kids, and I'm trying everything I can to keep them safe, and these people are actively working to harm my kids.
What's really scary for Kenny and other parents, apps that appear to be one thing but are actually hiding something else.
Like the example they gave was a calculator. It looks like a calculator app, but when you open it, you can go sort of underneath it, and there's ways to share pics and videos and have conversations that I would never know.
The FBI shared some of the local cases they've worked on over the years, including Lucas Michael Chancellor, who exploited more than 100 girls. Parents say it's a struggle, but they know they have to do it.
I feel like swimming hard to try and keep up, and I'll never keep up, but I have to keep swimming.
Yeah, and another piece of advice the FBI agents told parents tonight, just go to the App Store and see what's trending. Take a look at those hidden app trends. Reporting live, Amber Kriska, CBS 47 Fox 30, Action News Jax.
A local Navy family says that burglars broke into their home, ransacked their child's room, and even tried to steal their dog, and it was caught on video. Take a close look. You can see one of the suspects walk straight up to the door and look inside, and then they wave to someone that's out of sight toward the house. Shortly after, we saw a person with a cover over their face taking a TV out of the home. And only Action News Jax spoke with the homeowner who said that they broke in through the back door, took dozens of items, including 4 TVs, her grandmother's ring, and her children's toys.
That's really scary, and knowing that they can see all these pictures on the wall and see what kind of family we are and still do that.
Since the break-in, the family has installed new locks that can withstand 600 pounds of force. We reached out to the Clay County Sheriff's Office to comment on this, but we've not heard back.
Jury selection is scheduled to begin tomorrow for 2 former Jacksonville City Council members charged with fraud. They're both part of a 38-count federal indictment centering on money loaned to Katrina Brown's family barbecue sauce company. Opening statements in Reggie Brown and Katrina Brown's case will begin next Monday.
Some good news after a cargo ship capsized off the coast of St. Simon's Island last week.
Yeah, so far the Coast Guard has found very minimal contaminants in the water around St. Simon's Sound. As Action News Jax Danny Bozzini reports, crews are still actively searching for oil spills despite a few leaks. Many feel relieved.
I think we're just really lucky, to be honest with you.
Good news for the Golden Isles.
You have this huge ship with an enormous amount of contaminants on board, but it's actually still contained.
Altamaha coastkeeper Susan Inman tells Action News Jax they found an oil slick in the marsh along the Frederica River and another further up a smaller river.
It is very fresh compared to what we are seeing everywhere else.
And the Coast Guard has surrounded Bird Island with over 5,000 feet of boom to protect the wildlife. But right now, that's all that's been found.
I mean, we have some leaks and some spills, but it's actually minimal, you know, and so it's a really big deal that they're not finding it on the beaches.
The Coast Guard scoured miles of coastline searching for oil and contaminants from the Golden Ray. They even came here to Driftwood Beach, a local favorite here on Jekyll Island, and found no pollution.
Makes me
lot more encouraged to get back in the water, absolutely.
It's a big sigh of relief for the locals and visitors that come to the Golden Isles for the stunning beaches. But Inman says they're not completely in the clear just yet.
We definitely don't have a green light yet because we still have a ship on its side.
In St. Simons Island, Danny Bozzini, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Right now, you're looking at TIAA Bank Field, where the Jags will take on the Tennessee Titans Thursday. Now, ahead of the game, the team making some changes to the game day experience. So, fans will be allowed to bring a sealed bottle of water to every game. There will also be new points of entry and an increase to ticket scanners and gate staff. Fans will also have some temporary shade at each entry point, and for those hot days, misting fans will be added outside for those waiting in line. These changes come after Action News Jax told you last week how more than a dozen people needed medical attention at the first Jags game of the season because of the high temperatures.
And in more Jaguars news, quarterback Jalen Ramsey held a news conference today after reports surfaced Monday that he wanted to be traded. In the news conference today, he announced that he had not spoken to head coach Doug Marrone. He also says he didn't leak the trade request information, but says as long as he's a Jaguar, he will give the team his all.
They've gotten some really good years out of me. If I have a long, I'm going to be here. I'm going to continue giving my all out there. All I care about is winning, man. Everybody know that. I want to win.
Ramsey says he's excited to play on Thursday against the Titans, if he's still with the Jags then. And ahead of the game, Jaguars All Access will be tomorrow night from the Mellow Mushroom in Avondale. Former Jaguars running back Maurice Jones-Drew will be on the show. You'll be able to watch it at 7 on Fox 30.
Action News Jax, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris. We're going to have a cold front moving through just in time for that Jags game. I'll have that First Alert forecast and an update on the busy tropics as early in the morning. Temperatures will be in the 70s tomorrow, but don't forget your umbrella. We'll show you why and when to expect a little bit of rain in the First Alert forecast.
A local dog believed to have been involved in dog fighting has been saved.
He really just wants to lay on your couch all day.
How you can help his recovery.
And on the one-year anniversary of her death, shipmates at Naval Station Mayport are honoring their friend.
We're all in this together until the end.
Why they say they plan to hold a memorial every year. Coming up next on Action News Jax at 11. The city of Jacksonville is being sued by the Duval County School Board and Duval Teachers United for blocking a sales tax referendum to fix aging schools. This is the second lawsuit filed against the city. Action News Jax told you yesterday how a group of parents and grandparents took legal action against the city. In this new lawsuit, the board and the teachers union say the city had no right to stop the district from putting a sales tax referendum on the ballot. The school district asking the court to rule that it has the sole authority to levy the sales tax. It also asked the court to rule the city has to hold an election as soon as possible. The district says if the city acts right now, they could still have a special mail-in ballot election in December.
Only Action News Jax talked to a local great-grandmother who says she had a gun pointed at her head during a carjacking. It happened on West 6th Street near Paxson High School Friday. Priscilla Jackson says two masked and armed men approached her SUV and demanded she get out. She says it was the scariest moment of her life.
I didn't want to give them the chance to get an idea to hurt me, so that was why I just kept it moving. I didn't look back to see where they went, nothing.
Shortly after the carjacking, police found an 18-year-old driving Jackson's SUV and arrested him. Police are still searching for the second suspect.
A Clay County dog believed to be a victim of dog fighting has been saved by local veterinarians. This is Bruce. He's 4 years old and he likes to wag his tail. But 2 weeks ago, this was a different story. He was found on the side of the road waiting to be saved near the Orange Park Mall. When he arrived at the Clay Humane Society, the vet said he needed his leg amputated.
There was a large chunk of tissue taken off his leg and his bone was exposed. The foot was dead. So it was severe. It was very severe.
There's not much evidence on who might have done this and how long Bruce was even out there. The Humane Society is working to find him a forever family. Action News Jax Investigates is looking into letters that local voters have been getting in their mailboxes. It's a notice from an organization called the Voter Participation Center. On the notice, voters are being told that they are not registered to vote, their mailing address is incorrect, or that their voter information needs to be updated. Voters from all over our area are getting these letters. While the Voter Participation Center says they've helped a number of people register to vote, they say that they're trying to remind voters to refer to their local supervisor of elections offices.
Today, the arena downtown got a new name and a sign unveiling, VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Now the arena will be known. VyStar has committed more than $50,000 a year to local veteran services. They'll be distributed to local programs by the Veterans Council Board made up of veterans.
Veterans take care of veterans better than anybody else.
Another $50,000 has been set aside for a memorial near the arena, and VyStar will match donations made by families at concession stands. Members of the Veterans Council say they're looking to create a resource center with some of the funds.
Now certified Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
Well, the tropics are busy. The good news is there's not anything that's going to directly impact our local area, Jacksonville, northeastern Florida, and southeast Georgia, anytime real soon. Humberto's moving away, although becoming stronger. And we've got the diminishing now tropical storm Imelda that's moving into southeastern portions of Texas, dumping a lot of rain, unfortunately, on the Houston metro area. And then tropical depression number 10, way off to the south and east. We do have a wave that's re-entered the eastern, or has entered the eastern parts of the Caribbean. It doesn't look like this will develop anytime soon, but it might be something to keep an eye on in the long run over the northwest Caribbean and or Gulf of Mexico, as well as a series of strong tropical waves that are going to be moving off the coast of Africa. Right now, Humberto, it's more than 600 miles away from Jacksonville. That now a Category 3 hurricane. Imelda is more than 800 miles away, just about right over Houston, or the center moved right over Houston the last few hours, and more than 2,300 miles away, tropical depression number 10, soon to be Tropical Storm Jerry. So there's Humberto, a movement to the northeast and north. It misses Bermuda the eye, but close enough so that a hurricane warning is in effect for the island later tomorrow night into early Thursday. And what'll be Jerry works its way west-northwestbound steadily, gradually becoming a hurricane, staying a little north of Puerto Rico continues to be the call for later this week into the early part of the weekend, with a turn then more toward the north. Obviously, this is a critical point right here. As to exactly how sharp that turn is to the north, it will all be dependent on that high-pressure area, the Bermuda high that we've talked about all summer long and do typically during the hurricane season. Right now, it looks like it will be weak enough, far enough east, so that this turns more northward, which will be really important for our weather in the entire eastern seaboard. There will be other storms to track behind that, however, likely have Karen too. More on that and talking to Tropics with Mike at ActionNewsJax.com and our First Alert Weather app. It is dry across the area tonight, and will be to start your morning with temperatures in the 70s in your wake-up weather. A pretty warm, pretty humid day tomorrow yet again, but there are some pretty big changes on the way. A surge of northeast winds behind a cool front will drop into the area tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see a few showers as early as noon around Brunswick, a rumble of thunder, then those develop down the I-95 corridor and push more inland to about Highway 301 by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So most of the storms are out of Duval County in the heavier rain by the afternoon commute, the late afternoon commute. But at 5 p.m., still near and west of Highway 301, a scattering of showers and thunderstorms. The northeast winds kick in pretty strong tomorrow evening and overnight. That takes the rain and showers and storms well off to the west and southwest. Then on Thursday, with that east wind, a very high rip current risk continues, rough seas and surf, and also a few showers coming in off the Atlantic every once in a while. Not a lot of rain, but the big story will be the much cooler temperatures, some 15 degrees lower than today, and even a little bit below average, which will be a nice change. It looks good for the Jags game Thursday evening. Cooler temperatures, and then by Friday, a few coastal showers. Your weekend always in view in the First Alert 7-day forecast with highs in the 80s. Check out the nighttime lows dipping well down into the 60s all the way into the early part of next week. What a change. ActionNewsJax.com. So, your latest First Alert weather. Download for free the First Alert weather app, and bright and early in the morning, it's Garrett Beatenbaugh.
A local sailor killed in her home a year ago was remembered today. Chef Andrea Washington's shipmates released lanterns, and they set up a memorial in her honor at Naval Station Mayport. Action News Jax showed you investigators at Washington's home on the north side, where she was found dead last September. Her boyfriend was arrested and charged for the murder in December. Her mentor, Master Chief Terry Zinhacker, says the mother of 3 had just been promoted.
Her life was taken the day that she was supposed to show up in her brand new uniform.
Leaders at Naval Station say they'd like to do some type of memorial every year to raise awareness for domestic violence.
Every 3 minutes, a family learns their child has been diagnosed with cancer, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Action News Jax wants to introduce you to one of our family-focused partners, Wolfson Children's Hospital. Today, Action News Jax Courtney Cole had the opportunity to team up with the Tom Coughlin J Fund to visit some of the young patients at Wolfson's Oncology Unit. Families we spoke to say the support they received from the doctors and nurses has been essential in their fight against cancer.
They did everything for my daughter to be here now. And I appreciate every little thing they do.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund has helped more than 5,000 families and given away more than $11 million in grants, helping these families in Northeast Florida, New York, and New Jersey. To find out how you can help, go to actionnewsjax.com.
Tonight, Colbert's Only with Senator Elizabeth Warren, plus the cast of the Brady Bunch.
Now, all of you are running for the Democratic nomination. Thank you.
Tonight.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. This is Action Sports Jax, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Let me be real clear about that. I was not the one, me and my team, we was not the one that leaked that information because I thought about my teammates. I thought about stuff like that.
Hey, already a major distraction. Jalen Ramsey admittedly trying to avoid more headlines today, dodged some questions, answered others, in a somewhat bizarre yet entertaining 15-minute news conference this afternoon. What, 10 days or so here in Jacksonville? The asking price for Jalen Ramsey is going to be steep. If the Jags will trade him, they'll probably have to get 2 first-round draft picks in return. And then the team that will trade for him will have to throw big money at him in terms of an extension. So there's a lot to digest on the Ramsey front, and that's why we're, well, stuck in neutral right now. Will Ramsey play on Thursday? That is the next part of this. About the immediate future, Jags quarter says he wants to play. Jags want him to play, and right now he will play on Thursday as the Jags host the Titans. Ramsey says he's in a good place, will support his team and teammates as long as he's here.
I've gotten some really good years out of him. If I have a long, I'm going to be here. I'm going to continue giving my all out there. All I care about is winning, man. Everybody know that. I want to win.
The Jags in that building in 48 hours. 8 o'clock game on NFL Network Thursday night against the Titans. Action Sports Jax Dan Hicken in the locker room today. And guess what the team was talking about?
He says he didn't want to be a distraction, but when you demand a trade and drop that kind of bombshell on a Monday before a Thursday game, well, that's exactly what you are, a distraction. Still, his teammates weren't biting.
We've been talking, you know what I mean? I kind of came in here with Jalen, you know, so, you know, I think our bond, our connection kind of deeper than a lot of other players.
Can't lie to you, that ain't my problem or my situation. At the end of the day, that's my teammate. You know, all we can do right now is just focus on ball. You know, at the end of the day, if it doesn't have nothing pertaining to us winning on Thursday, I really don't care.
Miles Jack was down actually watching Jalen Ramsey's press conference today. He explained why.
I just seen the little update on my phone when we were breaking meetings, and I was like, oh, Jalen's about to talk. And then Jalen just so happened to be walking. I was like, Jalen, can I go in there with you? He was like, yeah. So I just went in there just to, you know what I mean, just to be there.
That's Dan Hicken. Over 10,000 video views alone on today's show on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. On Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. It was 3 hours of Ramsey and Jags talk. Join us every day, 3 to 6. Former Jags player Austin Lane and me on ESPN 690. The Jags have the Ramsey issue, but they have a bigger problem in 48 hours. They can't seem to tackle that guy, Derrick Henry, and can't seem to beat the Tennessee Titans. This 99-yard run will live in infamy around here, unless they're showing it in Yulee, where Derrick is from. Heck, he's even had enough of the replay.
I'm sure they are. I'm tired of seeing it, so yeah. So definitely, I know for sure they are.
How can you be tired of seeing it?
I mean, it's over with, man. It was a great moment. You know, I appreciate it, I cherish it, but time to move on, man. It's over with.
I love this story here. Carson King was at College Game Day in Ames, Iowa for the Iowa State game. Held up a sign that said Busch Light Supply needed. And he gave his Venmo account. Well, people around the country sent him money. And he's up to $20,000. Said he would donate it to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. And Busch Beer and Venmo have each matched the $20,000. So it's up to $60 grand.
I just got another update. It's up to $26,000. The match is now at $78,000.
Wow.
It just keeps growing. Good stuff. Final look at your first alert forecast after the break.
So cool.
We're looking at a warm Wednesday, and there'll be a few scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Updates on the tropics, of course, round the clock. First thing in the morning with Garrett Beanbot. I'll be on the radio side. News 104.5 WOKV.
All right, we'll have the latest on anything that breaks tomorrow morning beginning at 4:30 on Fox 30.
Have a great night.